There was a girl named Tina, a huge BTS fan, who was on a trip to Korea with her two best friends. One morning, she woke up earlier than the others and felt restless. It was only 7 a.m., and they had no plans until later, so she decided to take a peaceful walk to explore the neighborhood near their hotel. The crisp fall air greeted her as she stepped outside. The trees lining the streets had turned a brilliant shade of orange, their leaves swirling in the light breeze. Tina felt a sense of calm wash over her as she wandered into a nearby park, enjoying the peaceful atmosphere. As she strolled through the park, soaking in the autumn beauty, a small puppy suddenly ran up to her, its tail wagging excitedly. She knelt down to pet him, her smile growing as the dog eagerly played with her. After a moment, she looked up and noticed someone standing at a distance, watching her. He was wearing a mask and a hat, his face mostly hidden, but something about him felt familiar. The man seemed a little nervous, shifting on his feet as he watched her with the puppy. Tina, unaware of who he was at first, continued playing with the dog, though she couldn't shake the feeling that she had seen this dog somewhere before. It looked so familiar. The man, who was none other than V from BTS, hesitated at first, but eventually decided to approach her. He was still cautious, keeping his face hidden, but there was something about the way she interacted with his dog that made him feel comfortable. As he got closer, Tina started to feel a little awkward under his gaze, so she broke the silence with a friendly comment. "Oh, your dog is so friendly," she said, looking up at him with a smile. V, still trying to remain low-key, responded, "Yeah, he likes people a lot," calling for his dog to come back to him. But the dog refused to leave Tina's side, clearly enjoying the attention. Tina smiled as the puppy stayed glued to her side, tail wagging happily. "He seems to really like me," she said, laughing softly. V, still trying to keep his face hidden beneath the mask and hat, chuckled quietly. "He's a bit stubborn like that," he responded, taking a few cautious steps closer. The soft autumn breeze rustled the orange leaves around them, adding to the calm and cozy atmosphere. Tina, feeling more comfortable now, crouched down to play with the dog again, her laughter light and natural. V couldn't help but feel at ease watching her. There was something refreshing about this moment, so simple and free from the usual frenzy of being recognized. As she played with the dog, a small realization dawned on her. "You know," she started, looking up at V with a slightly puzzled expression, "this dog looks so familiar. I feel like I've seen him somewhere before." V's heart raced for a second, wondering if she had pieced it together. He casually shrugged, trying to keep his tone light. "Oh, maybe he just has one of those faces," he teased, hoping to divert her attention. Tina laughed at the joke and stood up, brushing her hands on her coat. "Yeah, maybe," she said, though something about his voice and the way he carried himself seemed strangely familiar too. She glanced at him again, trying to get a better look through the mask and hat. "Are you?" she started, hesitating. She didn't want to be rude or make him uncomfortable, but the thought had crossed her mind more than once by now. V, sensing her curiosity, shifted nervously but maintained his composure. Before she could finish her sentence, the dog jumped up, distracting both of them. She smiled and crouched down again, giving the puppy another pet. "I guess it doesn't matter," she said softly, deciding to let go of her suspicion for the moment. "I'm just glad to meet such a friendly dog this morning." V, relieved, but also intrigued by her laid-back attitude, took another step forward, finally allowing himself to relax a little. "He's glad to meet you too," he said, his voice softer now, a hint of warmth seeping through. As they stood there, sharing the quiet morning in the park, the girl looked around at the vibrant orange trees, their colors bright against the soft blue sky. "This place is so peaceful. I didn't think I'd find something like this in the middle of Seoul." V nodded, looking around as well. "It's one of my favorite spots," he admitted, his guard slowly lowering. "Not many people come this early, so it's nice to just be." Tina smiled at that, appreciating how genuine his words sounded. "I can see why. It's beautiful." She paused for a moment, then looked at him again. "It's funny, I'm here with my friends on a trip, and we came all the way from the States. They're huge BTS fans too. I think they'd flip if they knew I was talking to someone as cool as you." V blinked, caught off guard by her comment. "As cool as me?" He echoed, amusement in his voice. She nodded, laughing. "Yeah, I mean, Not that I know you or anything. You just seem cool. You have a nice vibe. V chuckled softly. I'll take that as a compliment, he said, smiling under his mask. There was something refreshing about how she treated him like any other person. No fangirling, no pressure, just a genuine, easy conversation. The puppy finally returned to V's side, nudging his leg for attention. He bent down to pet him, and as he did, Tina caught a glimpse of his eyes, the only visible part of his face. For a moment, their gazes locked, and a spark of recognition flickered in her mind again. She felt her heart skip a beat, but she chose not to say anything. It wasn't about who he was. It was about the moment they were sharing. Well, she said, standing up and brushing off her coat, I should probably head back. My friends will wonder where I am. She smiled down at the dog one last time before looking up at V. Thanks for letting me play with him. It was a nice way to start the day. V straightened up, feeling an odd sense of disappointment that the encounter was ending so soon. You're welcome. It was nice meeting you. Tina took a few steps away, but then stopped, turning back with a playful grin. By the way, I know who you are, she said, her voice teasing but kind. V froze for a second, his mind racing, but before he could say anything, she added, Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. She gave him a quick wink and then turned to walk away, leaving him standing there, slightly stunned but smiling under his mask. As she disappeared into the distance, V couldn't help but feel a strange connection with this girl who had recognized him but treated him like any other person. He glanced down at his dog, who wagged his tail in agreement. Well, V said softly to himself, that was unexpected. As Tina walked away from the park, she could feel her heart racing. On the outside, she tried her best to act calm and composed, but on the inside, she was screaming with excitement. Did that just happen? She thought to herself. She had just met V, her bias, and she had somehow managed to keep her cool, at least on the surface. The reality of the moment started to sink in, and she felt a wave of disbelief wash over her. How did I not recognize him sooner? She wondered, mentally replaying the entire encounter. She smiled at how casual it had been, yet now she was kicking herself for not doing more. Why didn't I ask him for a picture? Or even tell him I'm a huge fan? The missed opportunity tugged at her heart. She had been so focused on playing it cool that she hadn't taken the chance to express how much BTS and V especially meant to her. A part of her wanted to run back to the park, but she knew it was too late. V had been so kind and relaxed, and she didn't want to ruin the natural, almost magical moment they had shared. As Tina returned to the hotel, still buzzing from her unexpected encounter with V, she replayed every second in her mind. Her friends were still asleep when she walked in, so she quietly sat on the edge of her bed. She reached into her coat pocket to get her phone when she felt something unexpected. Confused, she pulled it out and stared in disbelief. It was a small leather collar with a dog tag. Her heart raced as she realized what it was. This is Yenden's collar. She must have taken it by mistake while playing with V's dog. Panic washed over her. Oh no. What if he's looking for it? Her mind swirled with thoughts of how to return it. She didn't have V's contact info, and how could she even get in touch with someone like him? Feeling anxious, she decided to distract herself for a moment and opened Instagram. That's when she saw it. V had just posted an Instagram story. Her breath caught in her throat as she tapped to view it. It was a picture of Yenden in the park, exactly where she had met them earlier. But what really caught her attention was the caption. Funny how you can meet someone unexpected and leave a piece of yourself behind. Tina blinked, staring at the screen. Was he talking about their encounter? Her mind raced, her fingers hovering over her phone. She had his dog's collar. Could this be a hint for her to reach out? Her heart pounded as she debated whether to send him a message. This could be her only chance to connect again. Do I DM him? Is this too crazy? She thought, but the way he worded his caption made her feel like he was opening the door just a little, like he wanted her to respond. Summoning all her courage, Tina quickly typed out a message. Hi, I think I accidentally took Yenten's collar today. Should I give it back? She hit send, her heart beating faster than ever as she waited to see what would happen next.